MSIV is the regional venture capital fund backing Marin and Sonoma County's most promising entrepreneurs. Marin and Sonoma are home to some of the most talented entrepreneurs on earth, and our job at MSIV is to help harness the full power and might of the North Bay community to get behind them and help make sure they are successful on their startup journeys. These founders are working to build the next great North Bay companies, and if we can help them on their journey, they are that much more likely to be successful in that endeavor. Jump Aero is building the world's fastest aircraft for emergency first response. Bolden is democratizing access to financial planning for all Americans. Fireside is building the software that allows fire agencies to ensure that their communities are better prepared and hardened to the catastrophic risk of wildfire. These are the types of companies we're backing at MSIV who are building the future, not just of our community, but the entire world.
As the VP of Community, my role is to connect the intellectual capital in the area, tenured entrepreneurs and startup operators to the most innovative founders of the region, and have that mentorship really empower these founders to grow here, to hire here, and be the key economic drivers that we know that high growth startup companies can be.
The biggest thing that stood out to me when I heard about MSIV was here was a local venture capital fund that had the sophistication of the bigger funds that are down south on the peninsula and the connections, but was very focused on our area, Marin and Sonoma counties, and was willing to invest in the communities and the businesses that are really starting to grow an entrepreneurial ecosystem here in the North Bay. MSIV has added significant value beyond the check to our venture in the connections that they've made. In fact, right as soon as they invested, they introduced me to another investor who also wound up investing in our company.
Zach and the MSIV team did the most thorough due diligence relative to the check size that I've ever come across with any VC. And so from the get-go, I realized that Zach was somebody who was going to be super thoughtful, super incisive as it related not just to the business model, but as it relates to the opportunities ahead for Finalis.
My co-founder and I always say that Zach is an atypical investor. He is someone who comes alongside of you and is in the details with you and wants to be there for you in every way. I think for one, that's come in the form of helping to gather community for us and just walk alongside us. It's also been in just encouraging us and supporting us. I know some of the words that he's shared with me are ones that I still think about as we're kind of riding through the highs and lows of the entrepreneurial journey.
MSIV brings this awesome community. We've met some other great entrepreneurs and operators and mentors that have helped us think about business planning, sales, operational stuff, and folks that can help us find potential customers and business partners on the biz dev side.
What we think is so important is the community here in Marin, Sonoma, and just the North Bay, building that technical community. And I think what we've found, right, is just the ability to meet and interact with some of the other entrepreneurs and some of the other tech founders up here has just been invaluable. So it's been great to have Zach as a partner in some of the strategy conversations. I often use him as a sounding board to bounce different ideas or just sometimes just challenge some of our assumptions.
Startups have the potential to change the future of the North Bay's economy. We want these startup companies to grow here, ultimately to hire here, and to lead a job creation renaissance here in our community to make sure our community's future is brighter than its past.